Dear students, I once again extend you a warm welcome to the GATE coaching class session for the subject control systems. And as we discussed in the previous session, we are going to take our class to the next part, that is a signal flow graph. Okay. So as you know already that in the previous session, we had a detailed discussion about block diagram reduction. What is meant by block diagram? And how different components of all the blocks are converted to a single block, and what is the ultimate goal of the block diagram, which is nothing but signal flow graph. Okay, and kindly understand that in control system, representation of a certain component is very essential. How do we represent? To determine stability as well as the transfer function. The two ways of representing the different components of a control system are block diagram reduction and signal flow graph. Okay. So in our previous session, we saw how different components of a block are connected together to determine the transfer function. So in this session, we are going to see how we can utilize signal flow graph to determine the transfer function of the control system. And kindly notice one thing, that whether you utilize block diagram or signal flow graph, the goal is same. That is to determine the signal flow, to determine the transfer function using the gain components. Okay. Which method is simple or which method is easy? It depends upon the student's interest. Okay. But kindly understand one thing. In GATE examination, question may be from either block diagram or signal flow graph, and chance for asking from both the methods is also not avoidable. Okay, or it cannot be rejected. Okay, now let us focus our attention on the signal flow graph. Okay, first thing you should know, what is the signal flow graph? A signal flow graph is nothing but the graphical representation of a control system. Okay, so in block diagram, you represent the control system by different blocks, different component of the blocks, and you utilize certain rules. Similarly, in signal flow graph, you are going to represent graphically each component of a control system with its particular gain. But the goal is same, to determine the transfer function, but only the method is different. Right? Okay. Now, let us look into what are the different signal flow graph algebras, that is rules. So the rules are not essentially different. They are similar to your block diagram reduction rules only. For example, if A and B are in cascade, the result is AB. And if A and B form a forward path, it is A plus B. Okay. So it doesn't mean that each one has a different rule or a different method. The rules are essentially same only. Okay. Now let us see what are the different terms used in signal flow graph. Okay, what is the importance of each terms? And kindly notice that understanding the terms are very important, similar to your like your cascade, parallel, feedback, whether it is positive or negative feedback. All these terms will come here also, but in a graphical method. That's all. Yeah. So you can notice first a node. Okay. So this is the very important parameter in a signal flow graph, which represents a variable or signal. Now, branch is nothing but it is a straight line or a directed line which connects two nodes. Next, closed path. This is very important. It starts and ends at the same node. Forward path. It is a path from the input node and it ends at the output node, and it does not touch any other node more than once. Okay. So it will touch but only once. Forward path gain, it is the product of gain of the entire forward path. Individual loop. It will start at one loop, it will go to the other path and end at the same loop. Non-touching loop, if two loops does not have a common node, okay, we call these two loops as non-touching loops. See, as a student, you should understand what is the necessity of all these terms. So even though it seems to be too complex, you can now understand easily while working out a problem. Because there's a famous saying goes that 1,000 theories cannot be equal to one demonstration. Okay, whether it is a fact or hypothesis, we don't know. But when you work out certain problems, you will understand whether you are able to have a clarity about these terms clearly or not. Right? So rather than speaking or giving a long lecture about all these problems, it is better to work out a problem and understand carefully. Right? Okay. Now let us fix our goal towards the problems. But before starting the problem, in a signal flow graph, we are going to determine the transfer function using Mason's gain formula. What is meant by Mason's gain formula? That is, T is equal to 1 by del summation of P of k del of k. Okay. What is P of k? It is forward path gain of k paths. So k may be 1 or 2. Right? Del is 1 minus sum of individual loop gain plus sum of gain products of non-touching loops. Del of k part of the graph which is not touching the kth forward path. Okay. So once again, I'm saying the Mason's gain formula is the transfer function is determined by 1 by del summation k into P of k into del of k. Right? Okay. Now let us take a problem. From this problem, let us understand what is a forward path, what is a individual loop, what are non-touching loops if present, then finally how to determine the transfer function using Mason. Right? Okay. And kindly understand one thing. The approach to gate is how fast you are able to apply all these rules to determine the transfer function, whether it is a signal flow graph or whether it is block diagram reduction. Both of them leads to ultimate same destination, okay? But the method of approach is different. In block diagram reduction, we are using certain rules, 10 rules to determine, we convert several blocks into a single block. In signal flow graph, we are going to use certain rules and we use Mason gain formula. That's all. Okay, now let us fix our goal or attention to the first problem. Find the overall gain C by S divided by R by S for the signal flow graph shown. Okay. Now, from the definition of forward path, it will start. What is a forward path? It will start at the input node and it will end at the output node by touching the other node only once, not more than once. Okay. It is nothing but if the arrow marker should be pointing towards the forward path. Okay. Now let us start. So you can understand from the problem, you have only one forward path, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7. Okay. You can check from the graph that you don't have any other forward path. So the forward path is 1. And the forward path gain is very simple. You have to multiply the individual gains of each branch. So here 1 into G1 into G2 into G3 into G4 into 1, right? Now let us check the number of individual loop gains. Let us see how many individual loop you have. What do you mean by an individual loop? If a loop starts at one particular node and if it ends at the same node, it can touch other nodes only once. But the important rule is it must start at the particular node and it must end at the same node. It can travel anywhere, but only once. So you can notice here, you have 3 individual loops. Loop 1 is 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 3. Loop 2 is 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 4. Loop, see once again, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 4. Loop 3 is 2 to 3. Once again, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 2. Okay. So you can notice in all the 3 cases, the individual loop starts at one node and ends at the same node, but it is traveling through other nodes only once. Okay, take care. So first we arrive at the 2 results. The forward path k is equal to 1 because you have only one forward path, right? 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7. So G1, G2, G3, G4. This is forward path gain 1. And k is equal to 1. The reason is you have only one forward path. Now individual loop gain. There are 3 individual loops. 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 4. Okay, it starts at node 4. It travels through 5, 6 and reaches 4. Node 2, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, once again 5 to 3. No, loop 3, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 2. Now loop gain, you have to multiply each gain. For loop gain 1 minus G3, G4, H1, Y minus, you have 1 minus term. Loop gain 2 minus G2, G3, H2. Loop gain 3 minus G1, G2, G3, G4. That's all. Okay. So you're not here using certain rules which you are utilizing in block diagram reduction. Okay. Now let us calculate del. What is meant by del? 1 minus sum of individual loop gain plus sum of product of non-touching loops. Okay. Now let us go to the question. You can notice that you don't have any non-touching loops because all the loops have at least one common node. That common node is 4 and 5. Okay. So you can easily see from the individual loop gains, 4, 5 is common for all the loops. So you don't have the problem of finding the product of non-touching loops. Okay. So del is nothing but 1 minus P of 1, 1 plus P of 2, 1 plus P of 3, 1. That is sum of individual loop gains. Del 1 is 1 because no part of the graph is non-touching with forward path 1. Now by Mason's gain formula, transfer function is 1 by del summation of pk del k, where k is equal to 1. Why k is equal to 1? The reason is very simple. You have only one forward path. So 1 by del into p1 del 1. So what is del 1? Once again, what is p1 forward path gain? G1, G2, G3, G4 divided by del. What is del? 1 plus G3, G4, H1, G2, G3, H2 plus G1, G2, G3, G4. Okay. So this problem seems to be very simple. The reason is you don't have more than one forward path and also you don't have any non-touching loops, and you also don't have any path that is not touching the forward path. Okay. Now, so you can notice the difference between the block diagram and the signal flow graph executions. Okay. So in block diagram, we utilized certain rules and we minimized several blocks into a single block, and we determine the transfer function. But in signal flow graph, the concept is rather simple. We determined only the forward paths, then we found out into individual loops, and we saw whether is there any non-touching loops or not, and then we applied Mason's chain formula, which is nothing but 1 by del summation of k tends to p of k del of k. Okay, so that summation calculation is based on the number of forward path available, right? Coming to the next, let us discuss another problem. Okay, and dear students, always have the idea of working several problems. Okay, you don't fix your goal to only one individual problem, one method, or don't skip a topic after solving 2 or 3 problems. Try to solve several times until it becomes or unless it becomes too easy for you. Okay, particularly problems involving a block diagram or a signal flow graphs will fetch you bonus marks. Okay, so it is highly advisable to work on this thoroughly. Now let us take a second problem. Find the overall transfer function whose signal flow graph is shown. Now, step 1, to determine the forward path. 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8. It will start at the input node, it will end at the output node. It can touch the other nodes only once, right? Now let us check for any other forward path. 1 to 2, 2 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8. This is another forward path. Please take care of the arrow marks. Okay, the arrow mark must be pointing towards the forward direction. So from the question you can understand you have 2 forward paths. Now let us check whether you have loops, individual loops. 3 to 4, 4 to 3, loop 1. 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 3, loop 2. 6 to 7, 7 to 6, loop 3. Okay, you have 3 individual loops, right? So now let us calculate the forward path gain. Now k is equal to 2. Why k is equal to 2? K represents forward path gain. Okay. First forward path 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8. Forward path 1. G1, G2, G3, G4, G5. This gives the forward path gain 1. Next 1 to 2, 2 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8. G4, G5, G6 into 1 into 1. So G4, G5, G6. Okay. Next, individual loops. Minus G2, H1. This is individual loop gain. Minus G2, G3, H2 individual loop 2 gain. Minus G5, G3 individual loop gain. Okay. Kindly understand the individual loops are nothing but which starts at one particular node and which ends at the same node, and it can travel through other nodes by touching them only once. Right? Okay. Now students, you have to check from the question whether you had any non-touching loops. Product of non-touching loops. What do you mean by non-touching loops? If two loops do not have a common node, we call the loops as non-touching loops. So 3 to 4, 4 to 3 loop 1, 6 to 7, 7 to 6 loop 2. These two are non-touching because you don't have common node. 3 and 4 are different, 6 and 7 are different. 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 3. Okay, this is a loop 2, 6 to 7, 7 to 6. This is loop 3. These two also they are non-touching because they don't share any common node. Right? Okay, so you have here product of two non-touching loops. So loop 1 and 3, 2 and 3. So please don't forget this, take this into picture. Then part of the graph that is not touching forward path 1. All the loops are touching forward path 1. Part of the graph that is not touching forward path 2. Yes, 3 to 4, 4 to 3. This is the path which is not touching forward path 2. Understand carefully what is forward path 2. 1 to 2, 2 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8. You can notice that the loop 3 to 4 and once again to 3 does not touch the forward path 2. So this gain must be considered for del 2. Right? Okay. Now del 1 is 1. The reason is no part of the graph is not touching forward path 1 because forward path is from path 1 to path 8 straight. Del 2 is 1 minus gain of the loop which is not touching forward path 2. So 1 minus of g to h1, 1 plus g to h1. Now by Mason's gain formula, the transfer function is given by 1 by del summation of p of k del of k. 1 by del k is equal to 2. So p1 del 1 plus p2 del 2. Right? What is p1 del 1? P1 is G1, G2, G3, G4, G5. Del 1 is 1. P2 del 2 is G4, G5, G6 into 1 plus a G2 H1. Right? So once you substitute, you will be getting the result. What is the take care? 1 minus sum of individual loop gains. Okay, you have 3 individual loops plus sum of product of non-touching loops. Kindly notice that 1 and 3, 2 and 3 are non-touching. To understand this, please see once again, you have 3 non-touching. 1 and 2 have common nodes 3 and 4. 1 and 3, they do not share common node. 2 and 3 also, they do not share any common node. And obviously, you have pair of 2 non-touching loops, right? So 1 minus sum of individual loop plus gain of product of non-touching loops, right? So kindly understand, you have to substitute this result. Okay, so this is entirely different from problem 1, which does not have any non-touching loops and which had only one forward path. Okay, so only by working out the complex problems you can still understand the meaning of each and every terms. So as I told you already that working a problem is the best way to understand a concept or a method. Okay. Now let us fix our attention to third. The signal flow graph for a feedback control system is shown. Determine the closed loop transfer function. Okay. As I told you, the first step is to determine the number of forward path. Okay, so you can understand from the problem, you have two forward path, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6. This is forward path 1. 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 5, 5 to 6. This is forward path 2. Okay, so once again, you have two forward path, right? Next, let us see how many individual loops it has. Please kindly understand, students, determining the individual loop is very essential, and you should not invite trouble in finding the individual loops, right? 2 to 3, 3 to 2, 1. 3 to 4, 4 to 3, 2. 4 to 5, 5 to 4, 3. Okay, once again check, because most of the students might skip another loop, that is 3 to 5, 5 to 4, 4 to 3. Okay, so you have 4 individual loops. So the calculation is simple. You have two forward path. I told you 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6. So the gain is G1, G2, G3, G4, G5. Second forward path 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 5. So you can notice that the path is jumping from 3 to 5, 5 to 6. So G1, G2, G5, G6, two gains. So here K is equal to 2. Okay. So P of K del of K is P2 del 2. That is P1 del 1 plus P2 del 2. Now individual loops, I told you already, it has 4 individual loops. 2 to 3, 3 to 2, G2 H1. 3 to 4, 4 to 3, G3 H2. 4 to 5, 5 to 4, G4 H3. Next, I told you it is jumping from 3 to 5, 5 to 4, 4 to 3. So H2 H3, G6. Okay. So these are the 4 individual loop gain. Now, from the question, try to check whether you have any product of non-touching loops. You can notice that node 3 is common for all the loops. Okay, hence the product of non-touching loop is only 1. You don't have any non-touching loops here. Okay, because 2 to 3, 3 to 2, 1. 3 to 4, 4 to 3, 2. Okay, 4 to 5, 5 to 4, 3. So 3 to 5, 5 to 4, 4 to 3 is 4. So loop 1 and loop 2 have common node 3. But loop 1 and loop 3, they are non-touching, because 2 and 3, 4 and 5, they are entirely different. Okay, so you have one group of pair of non-touching loops, that is loop 1 and loop 3. The reason is very simple. Okay, they don't have any common node. So product of non-touching loop is G2 H1, G4 H3. Okay, G2, G4, H1, H3. Right? Okay. So please kindly understand, to determine the product of non-touching loop is very important. Okay. So possibility of making mistakes is more here. So you need to be alert and watchful. Okay. Then only you can avoid making mistakes. Okay. Now, what is del? 1 minus sum of individual loop gain plus sum of product of non-touching loop. What is del 1, del 2? Product of the graph which is not touching forward path 1 and 2. So you can understand easily, all the loops are touching both the forward path 1 as well as forward path 2. Okay. So del 1 and del 2 are obviously 1. Right. Now, by Mason's-Klein formula, the transfer function is given by 1 by del summation of P of K del of K. 1 by del P1 del 1 plus P2 del 2. Okay, so what is P1? Forward path gain 1. So G1, G2, G3, G4, G5. Del 1 is 1. Plus what is P2? Del 2 forward path gain 2. G1, G2, G5, G6 into 1. Okay. And divided by del. Del is nothing but 1 minus sum of individual loop gain plus sum of product of non-touching loops. Right. So now at the next step, I hope you have further understood, okay, how to approach the gate question, particularly related to signal flow graph. Okay. Now, sometimes during the exam, the block diagram may be too complex. Okay. So mostly students will have confusion while moving a summing point or moving a takeoff point or eliminating a feedback path. In such cases, the best way is you can convert the block diagram to signal flow graph. From that, you can determine the transfer function. Okay, because a gate you have four choices, multiple choice. You are supposed to choose only the correct answer. Okay, this is not something like a descriptive. So, if you find a block diagram rules to be difficult or confusing, better convert the block diagram to signal flow graph and determine the transfer function. Okay, let us see one or two problems based on this. Let us take this question. Convert the block diagram to signal flow graph and determine C of S by R of S. Okay, you have four blocks. For each block has each gain. You have two summing points. Okay, each summing point has two inputs. Now, how to convert? Let us see. The important point is the nodes are assigned at the input, output, and at every summing point and branch point. You can notice R of S is one input, so one node. The first summing point is another node. Between R of S and summing point, you don't have any gain, so substitute 1. It is assumed to be unity, and don't commit mistake by substituting 0. 0 means you don't have any path at all. If you put 1, it is a unity gain path. Each component has several response like G, H. Unity response should be substituted by writing 1. So between the first step is convert the input, summing point, branch point, output into nodes. Okay, branch point and the nodes both carry same meaning. Okay, so don't get confused. Between 1 and 2, you don't have any gain, so substitute 1. That's very, very important. Between 2 and 3 also no gain, 1. Between 3 and 4, you have gain G1. Between 4 and 5, you have gain G2. Between 5 and 6, you have unity. And from 3 to 5, okay, you have a forward path. Kindly understand, if the arrow mark is pointing towards the forward path, okay, it is feed forward. Okay, so the gain is G3. Check whether it is plus G3 or minus G3. It is a point towards the summing point as minus. Okay, so you need to substitute minus G3. From 4 to 2, it is minus H because it is pointing towards the summing point as minus, so it is minus H. Right? So you can understand how you have converted a block diagram easily into signal flow graph. Okay. Now, you forget completely the block diagram. Now fix your goal only towards signal flow graph. First check how many forward path you have. 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6. Okay. Okay, so 1 to 2, the gain is 1. 2 to 3, the gain is 1. 3 to 4, the gain is G1. 4 to 5, the gain is G2. 5 to 6, the gain is 1. So the forward path gain is G1 into G2. Next, check whether you have any other forward path. Yes. 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 5, 5 to 6. That is 1 into minus G3, the gain is minus G3 only. Check for individual loops. So be careful about finding the individual loops. That is the only crux in signal flow graph. Okay, finding the individual loop as well as finding the gain of product of non-touching loops. Okay, these two will severely test our concentration. Now you can notice that 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 2. Okay, this is one loop. I'm saying once again 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 2. Then 2 to 3, 3 to 5, you don't have because that's not a loop. Then okay, so we can come to the conclusion that you have only one individual loop. And the part of the loop not touching the forward path 1, all the loop, you have only one loop that is also touching forward path 1. And it is also touching forward path 2. Okay. So del 1 is 1, del 2 is also 1. And you don't have product of individual loop gains. Okay, you have only one loop. So the calculation becomes very simple. Del is 1 minus sum of individual loop gain. Del 1, del 2 is 1. 1 by del summation of P of k del of k. 1 by del P1 del 1 plus P2 del 2. What is P1 forward path gain 1, G1, G2? What is P2 forward path gain minus G3? What is del 1 minus sum of individual loop gains 1 plus G1 H. Okay, so you can notice that rather using the block diagram principle, block diagram reduction technique or block diagram rules, using signal flow graph is pretty easy. Okay, but it depends upon the individual student. If you're comfortable with the block diagram, you just proceed. Or if you find a certain block diagram rules too confusing, kindly you can proceed with signal flow graph. Okay. Now, let us go for quite a difficult approach. Convert the block diagram to signal flow graph and determine the transfer function using Masson game. Here, you can notice that you have 4 summing points. You have 1, 2, 3, 6 blocks. And the graph, the block is also non-planar, okay? That is, it is crossing one arrow, it is going to another arrow. So here, using the block diagram idea or block diagram principle is quite cumbersome or quite complex. I didn't say that it is difficult. I'm just saying that it is cumbersome. You need to understand. And doing or converting to signal flow graph and using Masson is very, very simple. Okay. Now let us convert. As I told you already, the first step in signal flow graph is you need to convert the input, output, the branch point, as well as summing point all into nodes. And if between two nodes, if you don't have any gain, substitute by 1. Okay. Now let us see. Between 1 and 2, 1, because you don't have any gain. Between 2 and 3, 1. Between 3 and 4, G1. 4 and 5, 1. 5 to 6, G2. 6 to 7, G3. 7 to 8, 1. 8 to 9, 1. And kindly take care of arrow. If it is in forward direction, put the arrow mark forward. If the arrow mark in reverse direction, don't forget to put in reverse. From 5 to 7. Okay, gain is G4, but forward. From 8 to 10, no gain, unity. From 10 to 4, minus H2. From 6 to 3, minus H1. Once again, from 10 to 2, minus 1. Because you can notice that from 10 to 2, you don't have any gain factor. So it is unity gain. So you can notice that how easily you have converted a block diagram to signal flow. Right? Okay. Now coming to the forward path. 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8, 8 to 9. This is forward path 1. 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 7, 7 to 8, 8 to 9. This is forward path 2. So you can understand you have two forward paths. Now individual loops. This is quite complex, so watch carefully and find the individual loops. Let us start. 5, not 5. Let us start with 4. 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8, 8 to 10, 10 to 4. This is a loop 1. 4 to 5, 5 to 7, 7 to 8, 8 to 10, 10 to 4. This is loop 2. Okay. So from 5 it is directly jumping to 7. Take care. You have found out 2 loops. Next 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 3. This is loop 3. Okay. Next 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8, 8 to 10, 10 to 2. This is 4. 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 7, 7 to 8, 8 to 10, 10 to 2. This is 5. So totally you have 5 individual loops. You have 2 forward paths. Okay. So I'm saying what are the forward paths? 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8, 8 to 9. The forward path gain is G1, G2, G3. 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 7, 7 to 8, 8 to 9. G1, G4, this is forward path gain 2. Okay. So Pk del K is P1 del 1 plus P2 del 2. Now, next individual loops. The first individual loop 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8, 8 to 10, 10 to 2. 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 3, loop 2. 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8, 8 to 10, 10 to 4. Loop 3. 4 to 5, 5 to 7, 7 to 8, 8 to 10, 10 to 4. Loop 4. Sorry, yeah, you can take it as loop 4 or 5. And the final one is 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 7, 7 to 8, 8 to 10, 10 to 2. Kindly understand, an individual loop is one which starts at one loop and ends at the same loop by touching the other nodes only once. Loop gain. For first loop, minus G1, G2, G3. For second loop, minus G1, G2, H1. For third, minus G2, G3, H2. Fourth, minus G1, G4, minus G4, H2 for 5. And you can notice that you don't have any non-touching loops. All the loops, they have a common node that you can identify easily. 3, 4, 5, 6 is common for 1 and 2. Okay. 5 is common to all the loops, you can notice. 4 is once again common to all the loops. And 6 is common to 1, 2, 3, 5. Okay. And you can notice that 4 is common to all the individual loops. You can see easily loop 1, loop 2, loop 3, loop 4, loop 5. 4 is common. Obviously, you don't have any non-touching loop. If you find any one node common, finished. Okay, no need to check for everything and don't waste your time. Okay, be smart. So del 1 and del 2 are 1. Now calculation of del 1 minus sum of non-touching loops. Add all the 5 loop gains. Del 1 and del 2 are 1. The reason is no part of the graph is not touching forward path 1 and 2. All the loops are present in both the forward path 1 and 2. By Mason's gain formula, T is equal to 1 by del summation k tends to pk del k. 1 by del P1 del 1 plus P2 del 2. So G1, G2, G3 plus G1, G4. Multiply both the values by 1 divided by del. What is del? 1 plus G1, G2, G3 plus G1, G2, H1 plus G2, G3, H2 plus G1, G4 plus G4, H2. Okay. So you can notice that compared to block diagram, the method to find transfer function using signal flow graph is less time consuming. Okay. But at the same time, take care about non-touching loops, individual loops, and part of the graph that is not touching the forward path. Okay. I hope you got a brief picture about the problems related to signal flow graph. Thanks for your patience and thanks for your interest in attending this class. Thank you very much.